let's quickly bring you to date on this issue. The governor said, like I asked Dr. Amadi, the governor said, I want peace. And is this peace I'm pursuing is not born out of fear. But there are issues, like I mentioned earlier. We are looking, Rivers, in the course of peace, he also said that he would not go out of his way to do anything that is against the law, that is against the Constitution. With Edison's resignation as the Speaker, we have 4 eligible members of the Assembly right now, or 5, if you may. Now, with this peace he seemed to be pursuing, are we looking at him giving in to the directive of the president? For instance, the resubmission, reconstituting the Assembly by acknowledging Edison here as the Speaker. Are we looking at him resubmitting the budget? Are we looking at him doing some of the things stated in that peace pact that that not in tandem with what it should be? Is he going to do all of this in the name of peace? And if he should, is Rivers State looking at having constitutional crisis on their hand?
But let me quickly say that all of us who are positive towards peace, but this is one thing that's very fundamental. So it doesn't seem as if those who are insisting on the supremacy of the law are not peaceful in their disposition. There is no peace built on a foundation that is not solid that will stay. And that's to say that if any peace is premised on unconstitutional or illegal foundation, it will not be sustainable. So even if the president intervened to probably pursue peace in Rivers State, and then the governor is saying he's going to implement the clauses in that purported agreement for reason of peace, it can't be sustainable. There is no way any purported peace will be sustainable if it is built on a foundation that is unconstitutional and illegal. So that must be stretched and maintained.
He's in the village.
Then again, let me say that sometimes when you even say you want to fight a court, right, and you clearly identify violators of the law, one way to also pursue and attain peace is to deal with violators of the law decisively according to the law. And what do I mean? If there is any attempt that is treasonable, you see, any affront against a properly constituted authority is treason. Any attempt, any challenge, as though you want to either displace, topple, or unduly influence, and if you like, derogate from constitutional provisions with respect to the functions of the governor of a state or the president of this country, is reasonable. So again, if you want to pursue peace, then you have to decisively deal with people who have disposed themselves in that direction, constitutionally and legally. So why are we in this kind of quagmire? When we begin to tolerate people who have risen above the law and then who apparently are conducting themselves in such a way that they are impeding the smooth administration of a government and in manners that are not known to law, we have failed to decisively identify those individuals, whether you are a minister, whether you are a legislator, or whether you are a powerful citizen in society. A responsible society will isolate and identify those individuals and indeed treat them accordingly, that is within the purview of the law. So clearly, for me, those two issues address those who say, oh, it's peace, it's peace. The blackmail now has become the pursuit for peace. So Mr. Governor cannot pretend to pursue peace where constitutional and extant legal provisions will be jettisoned. And that's why he said that even if he's going to implement the clauses of that purported agreement, because for me, I christened that event in Abuja as the Abuja Inquisition, because there is nothing legal or constitutional with meeting where you are considering issues that directly pertain to the Constitution in the guise of mediating between disputants, and then you decided not to be guided by the provisions of the Constitution that you have all sworn to, that is the president, the governor, the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and the legislators are sworn to the 7th schedule of the Constitution to uphold the provisions of the Constitution. and to protect the Constitution. So it meant that if you were discussing any issue and you are pretending to mediate between disputants on issues that pertain to the Constitution and to the law, then you must be guided by the provisions of the Constitution. That has been seriously and enormously debated and argued and explained. I do not think that across the Nigerian state and anywhere that anybody is still in doubt as to the provisions of our Constitution with respect to defecting from one political party that sponsored you to a legislative house or another without a justification. It is no longer in dispute that a law that has been validly passed cannot be thrown aside except it is repealed by that same legislative house or it is overturned by an order of court.